I'm thanks for tuning in to my video blog. This is my I guess first attempt on making a video. Uh, I guess the purpose is so I can get my information out there. Uh, as far as I love to write. I was gonna start writing a blog, but I felt that it would be a little too time consuming. Even though I still will put in some uh, written entries in the blog, um, there are certain things that I guess won't translate so well if I'm uh, writing it out. So I guess my main point uh, is is a few of the ideas that I have or concepts of that I find interesting, uh, or that I would love to implement, but I guess current situation is it's not possible uh, as far as things are concerned. I'm trying to get the camera angle right. I'm always having trouble. Like so I'm just trying to figure out everything. So um, so I guess the title of my blog, uh, life, dreams, goals, ideas. Uh, it's it's pretty much uh, everything that I I want to put out there about myself. There's a lot of information uh, I, that that draws me in that I feel that needs uh, talking about. uh, and then there are a few ideas that I would love to be a part of uh, and implement myself. Hopefully, down the line, I'll have a few more people that would be interested in doing the same. Um, at first, uh, I was thinking, you know, the normal, uh, I guess, human thing would have been, having a family and passing the knowledge from me to them, and and hopefully they would grow and learn and develop these ideas. In which ways I couldn't. Um, the way I think about it is that it, the way I think about it is it brings me back to I guess the human condition where we only have so many years here uh, to do what we want to do, what we can do, what we need to do, depending on who you are. Um, so I guess it brings it to that concept of passing knowledge to another generation. Some folks do it in teaching a class. That's one of those places that I would like to get to uh, when I retire. So that's what I would eventually like to achieve. Um, but that's mainly just for my trade, uh, as far as welding and fabricating is concerned. Um, but is uh, this blog is mainly about my thoughts, ideas, um, more cerebral. Hopefully, I can project that in this and many videos to come. Um, and I know it's not difficult to make videos. I mean, just flip your phone and you could start recording yourself. But uh, I kind of pride myself on wanting things to be a certain way, and uh, time is a little short to get to that level. And you have to build from some kind of base, you know, to to grow. So hopefully, uh, this one video can develop to more videos. Um, so, anyways, uh, so the idea is having an idea, um, passing it on to your children, to family members, um, as far as instilling an idea of how to be and how to do things. Oh, my camera just died. Oh, let's reset. Come on, come on, come on. Some technical difficulties. Ba, 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 bum. Alright, let's see if this works. Oh, yay, it's back up. Alright. Haha, I'm back. Alright. Alright, so, um, okay, where was I? Um, so, so whatever, uh, so information being passed on and knowledge being passed on so that each generation can grow and expand that idea um, into uh, something greater, something uh, I don't want to say more proficient. Um, it's like it's like a master craftsman, um, only is a master craftsman after so many generations passes their knowledge and skills to the next generation, um, improving upon old ideas, not cutting corners, um, using better tools. Um, so that's kind of the idea that I'm trying to get at. Um, but as far as some of my ideas, it's more of uh, what was it? It was a concept that I posted a couple of months ago on my social media uh, about the struggles that we have to go through each and every day um, as far as living beings. Um, everyone's all um, upset about like being born into a particular family um, or lifestyle, and um, most folks uh, same concept applies is that their folks that brought them in, well, their folks, grandparents, um, depending on how they raised their family. If their family was raised to go off on their own, like, okay, I raised you until the age of consent, you can go off and do whatever, or the children didn't want to do what the parents were doing, you know, they were farmers or whatever, um, and they didn't want to follow in their parents' footsteps, so they wanted to strike out on their own instead of having a basis of skills to grow on. Because if you have those skills, that aptitude of survivability that your folks give you, then you have a foothold in the real world. Um, and it makes things a little bit more tolerable. Um, so you having these skills that your parents gave you, grandparents gave you, and you're able to progress to a particular level. Um, and so you have your own family, and uh, you have your own family um, that that you provide for, and you show your skills to, and you support. Now, um, you are essentially saving, like depending on if you have ideas or not, as this on this level, um, and you're able to put those ideas to action, then do so. Um, you have to weigh all the pros and cons and all the uh, you have to weigh all the risks and in your ideas and in your ventures, and you have to figure out if those risks are right for you and your family. I mean, if you're alone and everything, then you really have to think it through. Um, anyways, so depending on how you want to approach it, you can you can well do like some folks do and not really think about it, but some folks just want to work 9 to 5. They want to just do their work, um, and then retire and enjoy retirement and live life the way they wanted to, and do whatever their significant other wants to do and enjoy life. Um, that's how some folks want to do, and that's not me. uh, I I want to enjoy life, but I don't know. It's just something inside that's just like, you need to do this, and I feel restless every night that I don't feel like I'm progressing, pushing forward in ideas. Not necessarily because I know I'm not at that point of making things a reality yet, um, but I'm getting to that point. Um, um, gotta gotta stack the levels, one level at a time. And I'm trying different venues to bring in resources, um, as far as to build this company that I would love to eventually uh, create. Uh, we'll get more on that on more videos, because I would love to elaborate, but uh, I'm already at 17 minutes with technical difficulties. I am not trying to edit these videos, just so you know. I might do an intro into the video, I might not. Knowing me, I might eventually do that. But so a little bit about me, since this is my first video. I know I'm all over the place. That's that's how my mind is currently. Um, I've been up since probably 5 this morning, wanting to do a video of this nature, uh, wanting to do a blog for the longest time, um, but I just been nervous about it. It's just something kind of hard. Anyway, so a little bit about myself. Um, for the sake of this blog, my name is Demon Slayer 2199. Um, and my occupation, I am welder, boilermaker, fabricator, um, mechanic. Uh, I was in the army for a bit. As a mechanic, I was a welder. Well, I am a welder. No past tense yet. For over 13 years now. Welder. Welder fabricator, boilermaker, 12 years. Uh, I mean, I've never been the type to just be one thing. Like, I'm a welder, and that's it. I don't, yeah, I couldn't do it. Like, I'm very particular on how I do things, and I mean, if it was just me, it'd be straightforward. Uh, on doing all the things, because apparently there's if you're ever into union work as a welder, you're just a welder. And that's it. That's all you do is burn rod. Um, no thinking involved as far as welding is concerned. Beyond of the materials you need to bring and all the things you need to do and fitting up. It's all that's a whole different thing. Yeah, you have your welders, you have your fitters, you have your welder fitters. But there was nothing like that when I was being a bullet maker. So it was just all in one. You had to do everything because personnel is limited. um, as far as work was concerned. So now uh, I've progressed far enough in the grand scheme of things of boiler work. I've moved from the repair side to the maintenance side, so it's interesting um, being on the maintenance side to prevent damage and wear. Um, but it's fun. My tag is um, mainly from me being a gamer. Uh, Never professionally, but I've played long enough that I could have been. But when I was what kids are now, doing it, like if I was that dedicated, uh, as much as I was as a kid, I think I would have been pro gamer. But um, it's just not in the cards for me to be de- 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 devoting that much time into games as I used to, um, because of this right here. Um, I want to build something uh, greater than myself. But it's always been a passion of mine to to build this company ever since I was 12. Um, I've had ideas of creating. I've always at an early age I've always took things apart um, and wanted to know how they worked. Um, I enjoy uh, machines. I enjoy what is it? Electronics. I've touched code a bit when I was in the game development side of games. Uh, I've worked with that. I went to school for it, and I enjoyed most of it. um, couldn't really get into it because I guess some of the concepts didn't really stick. Um, I was more into the design and the creation of it versus um, coding and some of the other aspects of it. Like a lot has to do with lighting. Never really got into that. The smaller, more intricate uh, aspects of game development. Um, but just like with me with welding and everything to do with it, um, that's what you'd have to do as far as game development. You have to have different hats. Um, what else about me? I am mid mid 30s if you uh, believe that. I don't know. Most people say I look younger than I am. Uh, okay. Um, what else? Um, I guess that's all that needs to be said about me that's relevant to all this. I mean, I guess if there's questions, I'm leaving the blog open for commentary. So, anyways, I'm at the 25-minute mark. Should I go to 30? Okay, um, so yes, I guess I'm at that point where, um, yes, I could build a family and do all this stuff. Um, and I don't know, anything could happen between now and whatever amount of time I have left. Uh, but I'd like to uh, work on it every day. Um, that's, I guess, the way I'm geared. Um, as far as things are concerned, focus. Come on. Ah, yes. Um, so, so, um, so yeah, I'm trying to express this, and typing it out never didn't work. So I'm trying to do video, and it's just hitting a wall. Um, so there's a lot of hard pills to swallow. So there is. Let me round back to where I was going from on my social media. Um, the idea is that you're it's a little bit of sacrificial, um, that your parents or you have to do for your children to progress an idea or concept, um, that you or they may have. Um, Not necessarily a lineage, but more of like in my case, like if I have an idea and in my lifetime I cannot get it accomplished or off the ground. Well, so let's say I know this fact. I work, I'm still working hard, still developing um, um, funds. That's the biggest thing. Um, so you, so you pretty much set your children up right. Um, that they have these ideas that you have, and the concepts that you have for your children, and so when you pass, um, they will have the means to be able to put it forth in this company. Depending on where you are, like it's always interesting how much. Uh, Depending on if you're saving, like a 401k or any other type of long-term retirement plan, how much that would become uh, into enough funds to start a company, like some kind of down payment or seed money to create a future, um, for your kids. Um, and that's kind of the concept. Um, like it could be anything. This idea, um, these concepts, um, and that's what I want to get into about human nature. Is that uh, being human, you you have to pass the torch on to your children. You can't push them away, in any way, because I mean, either your blood relatives, children, or those that you adopt, or those that you bring into the family, they're the ones that will continue your ideas, your beliefs. Um, uh, I don't know if that's uh, getting through. uh, uh, but yeah, it's kind of my belief system, what I've seen and what I've gathered in my experience um, that life, uh, human life, that's how we pass the torch. Because like when I'm dead, when anyone is dead, um, like all this stuff doesn't really matter. Like it's done and over with. Like we've done our part. But it's nice to know that you create something for future generations, to enjoy, to to pass on, and anyways. But yes, that's what I want to get into is that um, I mean, depending on where we are, like there are folks that are not struggling at all. I mean, their family is well to do, right? Um, and they can do what they want and pursue those things that they feel passionate about. Um, but you have to think about like, oh, this guy, whatever, he's a bastard because he's doing all these things, and it's just like, well, you have to understand where this person's coming from. Are they the ones that struggled and worked hard and did all these things so that they didn't have to struggle later in life, or did their folks struggle, or did their great grandparents or their grandparents or whoever struggled so that you know their children wouldn't struggle? You know, you watch these shows. I don't know if most people think about it, but you watch a show, back, 1900s, 1800s, way back in the day, where all these people are wheeling and dealing, um, and struggling, and they're in poverty, but they're working hard and pursuing all these paths, and then eventually, they come to the new world, the Americas, and start a business. I mean, it's a small business, bakery, whatever, you know, a butcher shop, and they grow their business, they expand, and if it makes it several generation, it makes it, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But they're trying, they're developing, they're passing the torch on to their children, and eventually their children don't want to pursue those avenues of employment, and the business might eventually pass on to another family member or a business partner, something. But there is a starting point for everyone in that family line where someone says enough. I want to do something greater than for myself, for my family, for everyone that eventually, you know, will be, I don't want to say the past or behind me, but it's like it's more of in front, you know. Like you want to be the building block where you build this lineage, you know. And this lineage doesn't have to be blood related. It could be, like I said, a company, of people creating something to push forward, progress. Because I mean, we see it, uh, like if you lived in the last, what, 20, 30 years. I mean, you see it every day. A lot of the stuff that used to be sci-fi is now reality, and it's just like If anyone's noticed that some things are have been slowing down, and some things have been progressing super fast, super fast. And it's just, like technology is steadily progressing forward, going going up high, quick, fast, super fast, and um, there like normal people are not receiving that technology. Not the high end stuff, but I'm just saying like just stuff we shouldn't be so in certain places. Like what is it? The amount of poverty that you know the United States has is 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 insane. Like what the hell, man? Like come on. Like there are parts of the United States that are still like third world country, and uh, I've visited a few people in my life um, back in Dominican Republic. Um, it's third world esque, and I come here home. I come home, uh, and there are a few places that are still living in a hovel, and it's a little insane. Um, the amount of poverty that we have, and there there are things that we can do to alleviate that, which I will not delve into in this video, um, because I'm already at the 37-minute mark. Oh no! I'm trying to do little small videos because I can ramble on for hours and not really get anywhere. But I wanted to get this video out so that it'll get me motivated to do more videos. Um, Something with a little bit more structure after this video, because my thoughts are everywhere. So yeah. Um, so comment. I don't know if this blog site has likes and stuff, but comment on it. Let me know what I can improve upon. Um, but yeah. Anyway, I will cut this at 38ish. All right. Y'all have a wonderful Turkey Day, Thanksgiving thing. All right. Demon Slayer out.